Well, I played water polo for a few years, so having all those kind of skills, being able like, oh, I can.
I just messed that up. I just ended the recording. Uh, I'm not going to redo this. We do it one time. You know how we do it. Guys, thanks for checking in. We're watching an interview of Skyler Smith breaking down breaststroke to the Social Kick crew. Um, Make sure you subscribe, hit that noti bell so that we're notified whenever I drop videos Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:30. She's talking right now about how she sat like, how you do the breaststroke sit like the W. She said she sat like that as a kid because it was more comfortable than crisscross applesauce, aka. No, I'm not gonna say that. um, but I think it's interesting because swimmers socially, swimmers, I feel like swimmers don't know this, that this is what everybody says about us. Swimmers are weird. They're weirdos. So it's funny. You probably see Skyler sitting with the breaststroke knees, knees turned in, feet outwards, ankles flat, inside of the ankle flat, and everybody else sitting crisscross applesauce. You're just like, yo, look at this weirdo. So it's funny. Like it's the little things like this that give us the reputation socially that we have. I thought it was funny.
In a chokehold or wrap your leg around and drown you, that really helped. But it's one of those where I've been so competitive since I was a little kid. I think all of my competitiveness came from jiu-jitsu now going into swimming.
Wow. Huh.
The W sitting you're describing is one that a lot of non-breaststrokers are given, like, oh, you just need to sit with your feet out like this and you'll get better at breaststroke. And I'm sure Brian and Luke can remember trying to do this. And the breaststrokers all like have their knees down, and all the non-breaststrokers are in horrible pain doing it. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of the time it's your like hip anatomy is what we're finding out, is some people have more deep hip sockets, like probably Brian, Luke, and I. We can't rotate that way, where Skyler, you probably have, like you said, more space in your hip socket, so it's comfortable for you. But some people think it leads to higher injury risk of the hip and the knee. Have you dealt with any injuries in those areas?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I consistently sublux my knee. Like it'll sublux in practice and I'm like, oh, there it is. It popped in and out. Give me a second. So it's one of those where I think when I was 16, first time it really happened was I had my dog run into the back of my knee and my knee went completely backwards. So I've had times where I'm in braces. There's other times where if we do a bunch of breaststroke kick, I'm like, okay, I need to go get taped up to survive the week. But yeah, it's not something that I recommend for people to just sit there and.
Yeah, and I've had that happen. I have a left breaststroke knee. My right knee is non-breaststroke. I was born breaststroker though. And there'd be times like when I would try and train breaststroke in college, especially freshman year, where it's like I could like feel it felt like I could feel my knee like rotating on the bone. Like that's what it felt like. And or twisting, like, because it rotates. If you don't know, your knee rotates. Now you know. I actually have a video on it somewhere down there. I was researching girls and ACL tears, and women just in general have like a lot of hip and knee injuries. In case you didn't know, but I remember that. Say all that to say this. I remember in practice with Eddie giving us sets, and there's sometimes where it's like my knee doesn't want to go, and it just like tweaks the wrong way, and I'm done for the week. Like no more breaststroke training the rest of the week. So. Let me know in the comments if that's you too, if you're going through the breaststroke pain with us.
Yeah, I want my kid to be a breaststroker, sit in a W position for the next 10 years.
How big is this dog?
He's a 140-pound Mastiff. We don't do, the only thing that we have that's little in my family is my mother.
Mastiffs are good. Akitas, Wolf Huskies, Wolf Mastiffs. Wolf Mastiffs are dope, or Husky Mastiffs. Because then they're huge, but then they have like the wolf face. It's sick.
5'1".
Whoa, your mom is 5'1"?
Yeah, my mom's 5'1", my dad's 6'2", and I'm 6'1", and we always say.
And another thing, I always say this about college recruits or college coaches. Always look at the size of the mom's brothers. That'll tell you, and those of you who are just coaches, you have your athletes, you're trying to project what type of talent they or genetic gifts they have. If the moms, so the kids' uncles on the mom's side, the mom's brothers are tall, kid's going to be tall. It is 100%. I've never seen it fail. My mom's brothers are like 6'3", 6'4". My dad's 6'2". Nobody else is like that tall. My dad's, there was people who were tall, but nobody's 6'2". Like maybe you have some 6-foot guys. I have an ancestor, my dad's, I think, great grandpa, who I look exactly like. Like if you imagine this face and then a dude in overalls in a black and white photo, and he was 6'7". So it looked like some reincarnation type shit, but mom's brothers. So if you got a kid who's at the back of the lane and you know that, don't be the coach who shows up to a meet with a kid who sucks because you didn't do your due diligence to realize like, oh, this kid's going to be a swimmer body, like 6'4". Like I need to make sure I don't mistreat this kid. Don't be that coach. You look like a fool. You look like a fool when you're up there and you got this tall kid who can't go a BB time. You look like, excuse me, not even a fool. You look like a jackass. Okay, that's the truth.
I'm an only child, but if I had a brother, he'd probably be like 5'3". He'd be stacked.
Yeah. Whoa, that's a crazy difference. Yeah. So you're saying you have slippery hips. That's
Yes.
what we're learning.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Luke.
Are you the tallest?
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I mean, we're all adults, Brian, but damn, dog. Hey, yo. Slippery hips. Hey, yo, dog.
Joker that we know, guys?
Well, I don't know. We had Reese Whitley on the show a while back. He was pretty
No,
tall.
female. No, female. There
Oh,
aren't-
female?
Yeah, there aren't
Like,
any.
all
There
right.
aren't many swimmers. from
Casper
North-
Corbo.
Yeah, the males are pretty tall, but
Yeah,
on the
males
women's
are tall,
side,
but there aren't many
I think
female
Skyler might
swimmers.
be.
Yeah. One of the
Winning at
tallest in the
something.
world. Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an interesting, like when you say one of the first answers, it may have been your first answer to like biomechanically predisposed to breaststroke, and you said, well, I'm tall. And it's like, well, that's kind of counterintuitive because I wouldn't characterize breaststroke as the tallest of strokes. I would typically think of freestyle.
You're short. Breaststrokers are a bunch of midgets. And then there's us who are the elite. I'm 6'8", breaststroker, 51.7 on a relay. Third at the time, third fastest. All-time split at the University of Texas at Austin. Hook 'em horns. C61. So yeah, tall breaststrokers are a thing. The elite. And especially if you're a breaststroke sprint freestyle, you're a thoroughbred. They don't keep thoroughbreds in the barn. No. That's why I took a senior spot on the A relay. You put that thoroughbred out there, you let it run. Yes, sir.
Is the tallest stroke. And then I don't know what I would put next. Probably stay with long axis and backstroke, although that's kind of, I don't know. Here.
Now it's different. Like when I'm thinking of breaststroke, right, I'm thinking of 2012, Breja Larson, Rebecca Stoney. And I, like, one of my coaches, my freshman year of college, she swam with Breja. And it was one of those, she was like, you're built like Breja. You're going to be like Breja. You swim just like her. And I was like, oh my God, someone to look up to. So yeah.
So what advantages does being tall?
Yeah, but Breja is also a freak of nature, bro. Like, I mean, for those of you who don't know, Breja, she's a NCAA record holder breaststroker, obviously Olympian, but she was a track and field girl her whole life until maybe she swam like when she was young and then quit. As so many athletes do to play more fun sports. But yeah, when she got to A&M, I remember her freshman year, like you hear the story about her, like how Steve recruited her and she like wasn't a swimmer. She was a thrower, I think was a specific word they used. And then I remember freshman year, it's like, oh, this girl's like, sorry, Breja. It's like, this girl's a joke. Like, she's like, she ain't like that. And then the next year, she's torching everyone. Torching. I mean, it was like, oh, damn. Like, and shout out to Steve Boltman, dude. I think I said his last name wrong. But, dude, that guy can coach. He can coach. He can scout, too. So shout out to that and recruit. Well, I guess not recruit because the top girls don't go to him. But he can scout. He knows a good swimmer when he sees it, bro. I've seen so many swimmers under Steve. It's not Boltman. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, Coach Steve. But it's like so if I'm the third fastest breaststroker, he'd recruit somebody who's like the 10th fastest or like the 20th. And then they're like, let's just say I get first at NCAAs in the breaststroke, right? I didn't happen. But let's just say I get first. His 20th breaststroker who wasn't heavily recruited is getting like 4th or 3rd. Like, that dude can, Coach Steve can coach. That boy can coach. I say I think Eddie is the best. I think David is a GOAT for what he's done with sprinting. But I think Steve is like, if we're talking about like overall, Eddie, Steve, for sure.
Breaststroke provide you?
I got really long arms, so I can touch the wall a little bit faster than everyone else if I need to. Exactly.
Important for the 50, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely saved me a few times.
But you have are your legs long or your torso long?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking
I
about,
have a small.
Luke, maybe it's just because I'm a womanologist, a wagonologist, if you know what I'm saying. All girls' legs are long. That's the thing that keeps them in the hunt with guys as we all grow. We just have that natural growth of testosterone and they hit puberty. But our legs all grow and then our torsos grow when we hit puberty. And that's the thing that separates us. And that's why, like, if you ever seen on YouTube, they'll have these like weird balance things that girls will do and they'll have the guy do it and the guy like eats it. It's because of it's how their hips are shaped, but it's because they don't have a torso. So all of their center of gravity is much further back, whereas ours is much forward. So a lot of us fall on our face, like the kneel down, like pick something up with your face and then stand up, and we can't do it. They can because their center of gravity is much more over their hips.
the water. You have a small torso. Okay.
Yeah. My arms, I think my wingspan is 6'4". When the doctors were talking about how tall they thought I was going to be, they said 6'4", which I'm so thankful I'm not 6'4". My legs are super long. Like, I have a third.
Skyler. The 6'1" is good too, but 6'4"? Holler at your boy. You trying to start a gang? You know what I mean? Holler at your boy. Gang of 6'6" muskrats running around, hustling people in elementary school, hustling them in middle school, dominating them in basketball and swimming and whatnot and business. Holler, Skyler. I know she got the shoulders. I saw some picture of her at like what's it called? The swimming awards. Yeah, I got shoulders too. Some straight ballers.
Inch inseam, so very tall, long legged, long limbed, but yeah, my torso is like this big.
Whoa, I'm 6'4" and I have a 34-inch inseam. That is insane. You really long legs, yeah.
Yeah, I custom order all my jeans. Like, I have to get them the extra long.
Whoa, wild. I want to go back to, you teach swimming. Tell us more about that.
Oh my God. So in one of my interviews I had with Swim Swam last week, I was like, I'm a fake pro swimmer. Like, I'm still very much living the college athlete.
Okay, and on that point I said about the the genetics thing, one thing that's interesting, right? I want y'all to look at this. So, do I believe in love? Yeah, but that's another story for another time, right? So, people who are, I'm not gonna say violent, but they're like built for combat, their brows. So you can see like I have a little bit, right? Now I want y'all to look at everybody in here. He has a hat on, so it's kind of hard to tell. All right, but we're looking at their brows. I think some of this might be their camera. He looks like he might have something going on. Nope. Check her out. Genetics on point.
I'm in a grad program right now. In my grad program, we take 4 classes, we teach 3 classes, and then I work all college athletic events. So like I worked a national championship soccer game.
Sorry about the double volume stuff, guys. I have to remember to press this button every time. And sometimes I just hit the space bar to play and I whiff sometimes. So my bad. I'm trying to do better.
work on the floor for the Duke UNC basketball game, score. But yeah, I'm working 18, 19-hour days. Like almost every single day I have here is 6 to 6. Like I'm on campus from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. So when I teach my classes last semester, I taught 2 sections of beginning swimming. So I'm teaching undergrads how to swim. And like some of them were terrified to put their faces in the water. And they learned how to swim freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, tread water. And then one of my other classes learned all 4 strokes and ended up having to swim 100 IM their very last day. And then this semester, I'm a yoga and Pilates teacher, which is very interesting. I'm not a very good yoga teacher, I've learned. So, yeah.
Skyler, if you're watching, whoever's watching out there, we got a date. This is an impressive young lady, y'all. This is an impressive lady. Because coaching and teaching, you got to have like a high level of empathy. And empathy, sympathy, and what's the other word? Empathy, they do. I want to say maybe it's projection, but anyways, because you gotta realize that how you say something, how everybody's going to take it and interpret it. Because the only person who understands exactly what you mean and how you feel when you say something is you. Everybody else gets to interpret it however they want. Now, that's why language is important, right? Because it allows us to get close to a clean interpretation. But for her to keep, like, I'm sure if she wasn't good at it, she would not keep getting these teaching positions, right? So, yeah, shout out. Impressive lady.
Grown-up swimming's a summer league for grown-ups.
Eating a hot dog, pounding some fun.
Back to the yoga thing. First, I want to hit on this because it's we talked about being coached by Gangloff and him being a teammate of mine at Auburn and then as a pro afterwards. And I remember there was a period of time when I was, like sort of a fake.
Yo, I am such a dipshit. I just realized this is Brian Lundquist. Shout out to you, dog. Oh man, I'm stupid.
Myself where I was still working and I made a little bit of money from like winning races at meets in Europe and stuff like that, but prize money, a little bit of sponsorship here. It's not like that was a sustainable life. And for a period of time I was working for the athletic department at Auburn while I was training in the pro group there. And I remember one day it really was, I remember this still where I was when he said this to me. I remember rolling up on deck one day and it was like training wasn't going as well. I was like kind of fatigued a lot from being all over the place and working a lot during the day, not napping like the rest of the pros were. And I rolled up on deck one day and Mark looked at me and he goes, "Man, you just look tired." And it wasn't too long after that I'd made the decision to stop work. I was like, if I am serious about my goals and I want to, make an attempt to be at my best and make an Olympic team, then I should really think about this. And because he was right. And he just read me like a book. And being your like head coach, I just wonder, how's that dialogue with him? If you've got this much going on and you're still performing, but like, how do you guys think about making sure that you're taking care of, everything the way that it needs to be taken care of?
Yeah. So Mark has done a tremendous job with me this year, like easing my thoughts, right? So it's one of those where if I'm having a crazy week, like right up into our hardest winter training block, I worked a national championship game, a basketball game, that time or like tip off was 9 o'clock. So I wasn't home till 2. Like I was there 3 hours before and then we had to wait till everyone leaves and then do command and process like that. And then I had to work a women's basketball game. And he looked at me and he was like, "You are giving your best effort every day. And I know not every day is going to be amazing. So don't worry about your performance in the pool right now." And our main focus is on the summer anyways. Like I'm a long course swimmer. I always have been, always will be. It's one of those things. But it's also, he's always been there for me when it came to, I swam an exhibition 100 breast with their college meet, I think 2 weeks ago, and it was awful. Like he won't say it's awful, but for me, it was awful. I was like, this is so slow. I looked at him and I was like, "Am I still a good swimmer?" Like tears in my eyes. And he started laughing. And I was like, "What's so funny? Like, this isn't funny. I didn't swim well at US Open. I didn't swim well short course yards. Like, what the heck is going on?" He was like, "Skyler, I promise you, when you need to be ready, you'll be ready." And then I swam super well at TYR Pro Series. So Mark's just been great throughout this whole entire process. He's been so supportive.
So one thing I'd say I'm good at coaching around like this type of mental landmine or coaching through it, but I don't really understand it. I can empathize with it, you know, being nervous, but when it projects outwards in like in a way of like tears and shit, I don't understand that. I have a gap where it goes in, it doesn't compute, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I mean, I was taught always show strength, like never let the enemy see you sweat. Shout out to Obito, aka Toby. So it just, I don't know. It's always weird to me when I see people talk about like mental health. Like it's just like I don't get it. Just don't think about it. Like that's literally how I feel. It just doesn't. It doesn't compute. It doesn't compute. It don't make any sense to me. I know how to help people through it. Right? Like I'll have nerves and stuff like that, and I work my way through it. But I've never let it like project or be so intense that it's projected. It doesn't make sense to me. So let me know in the comments. Does it ever happen to you?
His whole family is so supportive. Like, really thankful to have the coaching staff that I do to listen to me when I'm tired and also be there and be like, you know what, I think the time that I remember
listen to some kick
hearing
stuff.
someone the most is NC State's pool is like a dungeon, right? Like it's literally the pool and then the deck. And during that 200 breaths, which we made a joke about a couple weeks ago, but that's beside the fact, I heard my dad scream. And I mean, like, scream the last 25. And I was like, I gotta go. It's time. So, yeah, that's one of those things. It's a blessing and a curse.
Do you
song get you most motivated at the moment, and maybe who's the best shit talker in the breaststroke group right now, outside of yourself, obviously. Come on now, outside of yourself.
I'm the best shit talker, period. But
I like this girl. I think this is that dual sport athlete energy right here. Because all other sports, let's say this, sports not swimming, you got to be able to talk shit. Because the game is so mental that they're trying to, like, the name of the game in other sports is make you stop playing. It's like, that's what it is. Like, when I'm playing basketball, my goal is to not have to work. Right? I want to be able to get rebounds easily. I want to be able to turn around and jump hook you to death without having to do like 3 moves or 3 dribbles. You know, I want to be able to push you out the way and you give me as little resistance as possible. I want you to be a liability where like your teammates want to pass the ball to you, and that's all mental. And you got to imagine like the type of mental work, like everybody gets up and swims. Imagine the type of mental work you'd have to do to get someone to just like basically dive in and just swim like they're warming up because they're that afraid, like they're that terrified of their swim because you're there. So yeah, I like this girl. She's checking all the boxes.
And Ben Delmar has had a few good one-liners. Like that kid, when he gets on my bad side, Ben will get me good. He knows all the right buttons to push. He's probably the best. But the girl that I train with, she'll always find a way to make me crack up. Her name's Sam Armand. She's really good about finding my buttons too. Otherwise, music, the songs that I was listening to, it usually changes per beat, but the songs that I was listening to for Tier Pro, it's always Drake and Future though. Like those are my go-tos. Was Up All Night, and then I think it was No Friends in the Industry by Drake.
All right.
Yeah.
What's you what did I tell you? I lost my train of thought. Hold on. I got it.
You're good.
Dude, I totally lost it. God damn it. What was I going to say?
All right, I can take one.
Yeah, take one. No, yeah, I'll think of it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you some shit talk, Skyler, because I was watching the Pro Series, and you had a great meet, but that 50 fly underwater needs some work compared to the A final. You're popping up like at the flags, and everyone else is going 15 meters. So,
guys, this is my first 50
going on?
fly. So I'm the biggest hater of underwaters. Clearly, I don't do that.
Yeah, you were like boom, at the surface.
Well, you obviously haven't watched enough of my breaststroke or short course breaststroke because you'd see I get smoked on walls, and it is that dolphin kick every time.
It's the long course love.
Yeah. I was like that 150 just swimming. Perfect. But yeah, I know. I rewatched the video too, and I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
Hey, it's still a great swim, A final, but yeah, some room to work.
Like I said, it was my first 50 fly ever. That time was taken out of a 2 IM I swam this past summer for shits and giggles. And I had the cut by 1/100th. So I actually had to prove my time to USA Swimming because they thought it was fake. So yeah, it was a big success for me to even get a second swim. But I'll work on that for Westmont. Trust me. 26 is happening.
Bring it. What is the process to get a swim validated by USA Swimming?
Well, they sent me an email and they were like, "Where'd you get this time?" And my coaching staff is looking, and I've swam maybe 2 100 flies long course ever. And I'm like, "I think it's for my 100 fly." Mark's like, "Skyler, it's not on your 100 fly." He calls me in the middle of my class. I'm like, "Oh, I swim it. It's on College Swimming, like, or Swim Cloud, what it is now."
Yeah.
He looks and it's from my 2 IM. He was like, "Well, there it is. Screenshot, send it to USA Swimming," and I got it approved. Thank goodness.
Man, is that really what we're up to now? Is scrutinizing entries for a 50 fly?
Yes, come on. There was a whole 14 people in the event. We really need to make sure that meet was.
So if I have a good 100, I know I'm bound to have a good 50.
All right, so let's go 50 short course then. So World Short Course is in December, and USA Swimming just announced they're going to have a short course of 50 selection meet a month before.
I can swim a 50 untapered well, and I can swim a 50 tapered well. So the thing that I'm most worried about is knowing my stroke counts, because when I swam at World Cups this
here. So what do you do mentally to try to get things back on course if things aren't going well? Have we figured out that solution, or how to get there?
I'm going to say we have one foot in the door. Okay. It's one of those where some meets I'm really good about retraining my brain and being like, "Skyler, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like, we're going to be fine." And there's other meets where it just snaps me in half. And that's something I'm trying to get better about.
Yeah, see, like stuff like this, I don't get. Getting somebody back to even keel, it's, that's easy to do for whatever reason, even though I can't relate. I have that skill. But yeah, that type of stuff doesn't make any sense to me, where you're like that erratic emotionally. Maybe that's why, girls have, emotions are a little erratic because of their cycles. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. But that's it, guys. I'm going to put obviously I'll put Social Kick in the descriptor. The episode right here will be in the description below, or the title. The title, Social Kick will be in the title. The episode will be in the descriptor below. We made about 31. I skipped some. So we made about 31 minutes in. It's about an hour-long video. So go check it out for yourself. As always, like, subscribe. Make sure you turn on that noti bell so you're notified whenever we drop a new video. We do that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Excuse me, I kind of messed that up and said Central Mountain Time one time and missed the whole Zoom meeting. It was a mess. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. Catch y'all later. Peace.